Hello, welcome back to the channel. Good to have you back. My name is Benji. I'm the Controversial Cyclist, and I'm going to get straight into today's video. Who are we covering today? Well, welcome back, Colonel and Chief of Grifting and Shilling. Yes, it's Paul Grifting, a Mapdec, or as we would properly call him, Paul Grifting Mapdec from Mapdec Cycles. If you don't know who he is, yeah, sure, I don't mind giving the guy a plug. He's absolutely desperate to use his fans to extend his empire, and Jesus, this guy will stop at no costs. But before I make these accusations, because you know they're all going to be backed up with facts, and you obviously all know that I cannot actually take any snippets from anywhere in the form of a video or even adapt them myself, because they'll shut it down from using copyright. That's right, that's how much of a threat the truth is to these people. But he's got a new grift on the horizon, but I'm going to check back into his old grift. And if you haven't watched my previous video on that about him building his own clubhouse, or him, is it really what he's doing is extending his business and getting you to crowdfund his business extension for him, please go and watch it. I will give you reference in this video of what I'm talking about, though, to my previous video actually as we go through, and also we will move on to his new grift. Without further ado, let's carry on. The thing with Paul Mapdec, Mapdec, if you don't know, is that it looks like he wants to build an empire. And for every narcissist, of course, there has to be an empire built around him. But why are you calling him a narcissist, Benji? Well, let's prove the point. This guy charges £60 per hour a labour fee. Now for that, you also have 15 minutes taken off if it's the first hour, because that will be the communication. So really, you're only getting 45 minutes. This is on his video that he said about his price changes, okay? This isn't coming from my mouth, so please go and cross-reference what I'm saying if you don't believe me onto his video, and you'll see that I'm speaking the complete truth. I've made other videos on that also. But where it's gone really wrong, and it's actually stopped and backfired for him, and he isn't getting his way any longer, is where he's expected you, the fans of his channel, or basic, and randoms on the internet, to fund his business extension. Now let's have a look how well that went. Indiegogo Fund, crowdfunding fucking voyage for him, as he likes to call it. We need a new clubhouse, building a place for cyclists. Now, bearing in mind, this is next door to, or an extension of, the business that he already has, which is a for-profit shop, which his new business venture is for profit. It's not a locally run cycling project that's worked with the council. Now, I'd like to highlight this as well. If you are building a cycle clubhouse used for as a non-profit, where would you check into first? I have to identify it's definitely for profit what he's doing. Where would you usually go? I'd say the local council, wouldn't you? Knock up the local council, try and get them involved. It's a non-profit, and then start it as a charity. It's very simple to do, to start a charity in the UK. Why is he not doing that? Because it's all for profit. Everything's going to be charged back to you. Well, the idea was, if he ran this for 28 days, he needed to raise 82,000 euros. Well, close to 82,000 euros, so around about 65 to 70,000 pounds. But everyone saw through it finally, and I hope most people are seeing through Paul Mapdec as the grifter that he really is. And you can see that there, because after 28 days, he only made 1,089 euros. It's barely more than £800. But let's see how bad this went for him. And it must have been a blow to a complete, narcissist like himself, or, self-made god, because anyone that speaks out against him with any critical information or a different voice of opinion, he will shut down and try and get them thrown off YouTube. I've got experience of it, guys. I've got experience of it. But let's look at the truth, because that's all I ever used to do. Masterclass for bottom brackets. No one bought that. He was charging £150 for you to be spoken to directly, and he would film it and put this all on, his YouTube channel, which as soon as it's made into a a video, he's making profit from that as soon as it goes up on YouTube. Let's be sure about that. He's monetized, he's making profit. By the way, I'm not monetized, I don't make profit. So there we go. 30 of those were available, no one bought it, thank God. Your name on the stairs, 4 sad saps, 4 absolute arse wipes that lick Paul's ass, actually bought their name on the stairs. So at least he can scroll on the stairs 4 names of absolute complete knobheads and losers. So £400 was made because he's just going to write their names on the stairs. What a load of shite. Thank you. 12 people out of 3,000. Bearing in mind, sorry, I didn't say that was only 4 out of 2,500. So he sold 4 out of 2,500. 12 out of 3,000. Give a little help. A little help was given. £25. Thank God no one more donated that. No one wanted a Mapdec mystery box. He had 50 available. No one was paid £250 for 2 Pirelli tyres, 2 Pirelli caps and 2 Pirelli bottles. You know, that's pretty much their recommended retail price anyway, so you're getting fuck all really for that. Masterclass and group sets, same as all the other garbage. You would have just videoed it. 1 person out of 30 bought that. Masterclass headsets, 0 out of 30. Titanium Mapdec card, no one, thank God, bought 25 of any of the 25 available. I don't even know what that is. There was no information on that either. I don't know if it's a voucher. Who fucking knows? A day in Mapdec's workshop. There were 18 available of them. You could spend a day in Mapdec's workshop with no, it's absolutely got no fucking windows, all chipboard everywhere, and watch them work for £1,000. You know, if you're a fan, why don't you just tune in for free on the fucking YouTubes, you know? But that's obviously not enough for him. Sponsor a cycle route. I went through this on my channel and said, how's he going to do that? Again, how's he going to get it changed? Is he going to get a route made and then put on an ordnance survey with your name on it? He can't do that. I mean, I don't know how he's going to do that. And he would often actually have to make that official and probably approach the council, I would have thought. So there's another load of old bollocks. But anyway, whatever he's going to do for that, 0 people bothered to buy that out of 27. Buy and build your dream bike. Now, this is the big one. There were 2 of these available, £15,000 or €17,659. Now, you buy and build your dream bike. So it sounds like, by the things of it, you pay to buy your dream bike and you build it at the same time. Now, if I'm paying 15 grand, I would want that fucking sap to make my fucking bike for me. There's no fucking way I'm building it. I'd want, you know, an artisan, super amazing, the world's best mechanic to make my bike for me for 15 grand. Again, another grift, you know, from the cheeky guy from Kendall. Upgrade your bike with Paul. No one bought that out of 5. That was £6,000. Thank Christ. And build your bike with us. Now, this is another peach, just like the build your dream bike one. £2,000 for you to go into Mapdec's fucking workshop and build your own bike. £2,000. Fucking ridiculous. And remember, all of this stuff is content that you would be making for him and he would be getting paid for. So not only are you being charged like 3 or 4 times or 5 times as much as it would be, or probably 6 times. I mean, how much a bike build? Probably about between £350 and £400 in a higher end bike shop for a complete bike build, I would say, or medium to well, not super high end, but medium. Okay, bike build, say about £400. Expect to pay that. You're paying £2,000, and he's making videos on that he can literally fucking sell. Well, he's isn't he? He's getting the ad revenue and all of the clicks and all of that shit, and generate more money from that as well. So it's about 5 times or 4 times as much as it should be at a normal price. And you're doing all the work anyway. You're doing the bike build. Basically, you've just been in a Mapdec video. He must think he's fucking Sylvester Stallone, the fucking prick, or some fucking A-tier fucking, you know, actor. Well, he's just a narcissist, isn't he? But thank God nobody bought into this bullshit. But that hasn't stopped Paul Mapdec from actually trying to get you to fund his business endeavours. Bearing in mind, and I will highlight this again, I did this highlighted in my last video, this guy's got business investors. He's got business investors behind him. Why is he not, knocking them up for the cash? Why didn't he go to the bank as he's extending his business and go and get a business loan? Well, I would probably expect he did go to the bank and he's probably got that business loan and he's probably rolling forward with it, but he wants you to pay for it, so he's got some more money in the fucking back burner so he can go and do what he wants or buy more fucking bikes or do whatever he does. I don't know what he does, but he must think we're all fucking stupid. Yes, he does, because he's a narcissist. But look, it didn't work. But let's see what the new grift is. Okay, just go onto his website. I don't mind promoting it for him. He needs as much money as he can, obviously, to, get the clicks, get the ad revenue to build his next business empire, to extend it. Why not throw the dog a fucking bone? But he is now going to raffle off a Colongo bike. But the best bit is that Colongo sent him this frame. Just go watch the video. And he absolutely annihilates it. And basically says that all of the fucking build quality of the frame is garbage. Now, whether or not on the first video they had gifted it to him and told him what the script was, I don't know. It looks like they didn't, and they just sent it to him. But after this has now turned into a raffle bike. I kid you not. And this raffle bike, or this bike that's going to be raffled off, as you can see there, after it's been just absolutely fucking shat on by Mapdec. He literally made a video where he shat on it and said the quality was garbage for it. I read the comment section and people were like, that fucking bike deserves Shimano Tiagra, nothing more. Or that frame set deserves Shimano Tiagra, it's shite. So he does this with all bikes, whether they're good or bad. He does it because he's obviously protecting, in my opinion, look and time, which is he's the main supplier of, and that's where he makes all of his money, and they're the bikes that he sells, because that's what he wants to sell you, because that's where his biggest profit margin is. Now, Colongo, by the sounds of things, has gifted him this. So what's he going to do with it? Well, as it stands, old Mapdec's got it all built up and going to take this out on a ride test, because he's going to fuck off back to Mallorca to make some more, what would I say, footage, because he's got to fly to Mallorca now, can't make it in fucking Kendal, can he? So he's just spending money like it's probably going out of, it's going out of fashion, and he's struggling because he's taken on a media team now as well. But he's got to come up with so much shit to pump the fucking beast that he's created, and that beast is probably something that's swallowing a lot of money. And you can see from the crowdfunding, actually people aren't on board with this, and this whole fucking thing they see through. Now, if you go onto his video in the drop-down menu, you will find a link which will take you through to another site where he's trying to try this grift now, where you can buy this bicycle and it's going to be raffled at £2 a ticket. You can enter as many times as you want, guys, but I don't think the upkeep or the uptake's going to be that good. The main reason is because he said the frame was absolutely shit. It showed him, as per usual, having to ream, regardless if it needed or not, cut threads, run threads, cut them, ream out anything, make adjustments here, there and everywhere, in the process of saying that all the paint overspill was crap and, it's absolutely garbage for the money. Now, whether I agree or not, who would know if he's telling the truth, because I think he's got a massive bias anyway, but I'm not a fan of Colongo. I think they're overpriced, so pretty much he could have been telling the truth. But what's very clear is that this whole agenda has now changed, because here's also £5,000 and bling this bike up as much as possible. So really, Colongo have paid for a lot of exposure here. But in pure Mapdec style, he can't help himself. And he's had to fucking absolutely poleaxe the Colongo from the beginning, because nothing's going to touch his empire. And that's his pure narcissistic streak running through. So it's brilliant, because it's poetic justice, really, because Colongo are shilling, grifting pricks, especially with their product release, the way things are going now, and the way that, since it's been taken over by Saudi and it's not really an Italian company anymore, the way that they are pushing the products and the way that they promote their products, and they've just got together with someone, and I don't think it's going to end well. So the best thing about this, and let's end on a high note, because this is it, Mapdec is setting himself up for another massive fail, and he's going to have to dip his his hands in his pockets to do this, like anyone else, like you and me will have to do if we're making an extension, or if we're extending our businesses, or we're launching a business, whatever that is. It's fucking woeful that he thought he'd get away with it, but the best thing is it's backfired. So it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. My advice is, like everyone's saying, don't buy that Colongo because it is a piece of fucking garbage, probably. Or if you want to punt and he can buy himself a couple of brews or a few cups for his clubhouse / business extension, be my guest. Good luck to you. But I won't be buying a ticket soon, and I don't think many other people will be. So on that happy note, considering that you do have to literally pay for 15 minutes for him to run through any servicing requirements with you, he needs to talk to you for 15 minutes and it's all payable. That absolute fucking nightmare. You're never going to get anything honest from him. So thanks for getting to the end of this one. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one for more fun and piss taking. All I can say is ciao for now.